local radio station.
For local people.
103.2 Preston FM.
Your community radio.
Don't know if you know, but a new electoral registration system started across the country on the 10th of June 2014. And to tell us more about that, I've got in the studio right now from Preston City Council, Peter Welsh. So, Peter, a very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Nice to meet you. And I'm sure possibly lots of people are not aware of this new legislation. What, in fact, does it mean, and what impact will it have on people who want to vote?
Well, the new legislation came in on the 10th of June 2014, and the new legislation, which is known as individual electoral registration, places the onus on the individual to register, rather than previously it was a member of the household that was able to provide the council with the information. Now, there were no checks made on the information provided, so it could be argued that the system could be subject to fraudulent activities. IER introduces new checks, and what the council has recently done, it's had its register checked against government records, and we had over 100,000 electors on the register. Out of those, over 86,000 matched those government records, so those electors will automatically go on to this new form of system of registration. However, we did have 12,500 electors that didn't match these government records. And so we've been writing to these people saying, look, we haven't been able to move you over straight away. You just need to provide a bit more information. And that information that we need is their national insurance number and their date of birth. Now, they have got a form to complete and they can send that back to the council. But what we're trying to encourage people to do is, for the first time under the registration process, people can go online to register, and the process is extremely user-friendly and only takes 3 or 4 minutes to complete.
And for people who they themselves know that they're not registered here in Preston, is it the same procedure to to make certain that their name is on the register?
For any new electors, what I'd suggest, if anyone has recently moved house, that they just go on to the website, which is www.gov.uk/register to vote. I think the easy way is just go onto Google and just type in register to vote, and you'll be directed to the digital service where any person can go on and register, but they will need their national insurance number and obviously be aware of their date of birth, and they will be able to apply to get onto the new system in this very streamlined fashion.
And tell us a little about, if anybody's received it, the blank who is eligible voters form. That again is for people who've not yet registered, I take it.
As I said, we've got over 12,500 people that weren't moved onto the new system. They're currently on the register, but in the long run, to remain registered, we're asking them to go online and provide some additional information so that they will remain on the register in the future. But also at the same time, we've obviously got quite a lot of properties where possibly in the past we haven't had anyone registered. Now, any empty properties we have on our records, we're sending a separate form, and it's asking details of anyone who might be eligible to vote to complete that information, and then we'll process those details and explain how these individuals can go onto the new register.
And of course, particularly this year, given that next year is going to be a general election year, it's more than ever important that you make certain that your vote is going to count, isn't it?
I think a parliamentary election only takes place every 5 years, and certainly in the past, people unfortunately tend to leave it rather late to get onto the register, even though there's plenty of publicity about a parliamentary election. Obviously, this process makes it more accessible to apply to be on the register, but checks still have to be made. So just because you go online doesn't mean to say you're registered straight away. They've got to check that your national insurance number and the date of birth are correct, and then after that's been processed, the local authority or my team at Preston City Council we'll contact the individual to say, look, we know you went online, everything's okay, you're now on the register. But there will be a cut-off point prior to the parliamentary election next year, and that's approximately 12 working days. What we want people to do is, look, get on that register straight away and don't leave it too late.
Because, of course, the other thing, by getting people to register as quickly as possible, is it does reduce the cost, doesn't it, on the City Council in the work that you're having to undertake to try and make certain that people have their votes.
It certainly does, and obviously going online saves on printing costs and saves on postage costs. There are other incentives to register, obviously. It is, unless you're registered, you're not able to vote unless you're registered. But also it's got other possibly hidden advantages, whereby, for instance, if I went into a high street mobile store and wanted to set up a mobile phone contract, if my name's not on the electoral roll, I won't get credit, so I won't get that mobile phone. I won't be able to get a mortgage. I won't be able to get a car loan. So there are hidden issues behind it, but arguably the important one is getting on that register so you can exercise your right to vote, and the decisions, everyday decisions that affect your life, are basically down to you and how you vote at whether it's local elections or parliamentary elections.
And I'm sure people haven't thought about that, the way it can also help them in other ways by making certain that they are registered. I understand there's also, is it some road shows that are coming up around the city quite soon?
Yeah, what we've tried to look at is areas historically where we've had a relatively poor response to the annual register. So we're going about various areas in Preston, with the council city zone vehicle, and trying to encourage people to come on the vehicle. We've got the PCs on there, and we'll have staff to assist people and show them how easy it is to register online. We're also running, as part of the incentive to try and encourage people to come onto the city zone vehicle, there's going to be a £500 prize draw for a high street voucher, so that anyone that uses this facility that the council is providing will be entered into the draw. The details, or the sites and the dates where the city zone vehicle is going round, is on the 15th of August, and that will be at St Cuthbert's Church car park on Lytham Road, the 29th of August at Newman College car park, the 5th of September at Fishwick Rangers Fever Dance Company car park, and the 19th of September at Acregate Lane Club car park. All the details are on the council website, but the areas where the city zone vehicle is visiting, we're doing a leaflet drop to all the residents in that particular area, making them aware of what's been provided, and also this opportunity to enter a £500 draw.
That's right, so that can't be bad, can it? And what about people maybe who, through some kind of illness, or maybe someone with special needs, etc., who finds it difficult to be able to do this alone? Is there advice out there for them? Or if someone is registering, can somebody register or help them register on their behalf if they have got some kinds of medical condition or special needs?
First off, I would advise anyone, if they don't have access to the internet or they're not comfortable with it and possibly need assistance, is just to contact Electoral Services at Preston City Council, and we will go through the process and we will actually input that information for each individual. So again, if that person has access to the national insurance number, if they don't, we'll say, look, can you go away and find it, and we'll phone you back and we'll just talk you through the process, just ask you the questions, run through it with them again, and be able to help them register. Now, there'll be some possibly people that may not want to speak to someone at Preston Town Hall. We are running a couple of community events,
right,
and these are aimed at all the community groups in the Preston area, and these are taking place on the 21st and 27th of August at Preston Town Hall. And we're asking leaders from all these groups to come along so that we can explain this new system, and so that they can cascade that information down to all the groups that they provide support to.
So hopefully this is a system then that should help streamline registration in the future and make it easier for people to make certain that they are registered.
Certainly make it easier, more streamlined, and as I say, the Electoral Services team at Preston City Council are on hand to deal with any queries, to input the information onto the system and basically assist electors or prospective electors with this new system.
Okay, so Peter, just remind us again for our listeners the possibility of people, is it receiving three kinds of letter? The first one could be the acknowledgement that you are registered.
Yeah, first of all, we were very fortunate actually. We sent our information away to the Cabinet Office for the matching exercise. Now, originally 79% of our records matched with government records, but then we did some local data matching with records that the council held. So that went up to 87% of our electors matched government records. So they were automatically on the new system. So we just had to write to these people and saying, more or less, congratulations, you're on the new system. You don't have to do anything else. We explained about the different forms of register, because there's an open register that's available for marketing companies to purchase, and the electoral register itself, which is only used for voting purposes. The people that didn't match the government records, the remainder, those 12,500, we've written to these people and saying, look, we just need a little bit more information from you. There's a form here to complete, but you can go online to register. And we're asking people to complete this information within a 3-week period. Under the legislation, if we don't receive a response, we are required to send a reminder. And again, a further 3-week period will be given for householders or individuals to complete and return the form, or alternatively go online. And finally, we will send a final reminder together with a canvasser, just to encourage hopefully the very last few groups of electors that haven't responded, to say, look, please, we've sent you 2 forms now. Could you please complete it? It is in your best interest. So that's the whole process. Obviously, the more reminders we have to send out, it increases the cost to the council.
Right, and you can, for listeners who want to go down there, you can go to the road shows, and it's 15th of August, St Cuthbert's Church Car Park, 29th of August, Newman College Car Park, 5th of September, Fishwick Ramblers, Stroke Fever Dance Company Car Park, and on the 19th of September, Acregate Lane Club Car Park. And again, as Peter said, people can just go online and go to the City Council website.
That's right, yes.
And as you said, these days quite a simple procedure to do it that way, rather than maybe go to the extent of going to the roadshow or along to the post box or whatever. So an easy way to do it these days is to do it online.
And if you've got 5 minutes, just Google register to vote, have a look at the system and see how easy it is to actually register.
And as we said, no real cut-off date, but the sooner you do it, the better all round for everyone.
It's a win-win situation if people act as soon as they receive the letters from the local authority, or if someone's recently moved into a property, to go online. We are doing a lot of publicity. We're doing the road shows. We're doing the community engagement days. We're also, the council has commissioned 3 videos. Our communications team are actively promoting these, and we hope to have a reach of about 15,000 that will hopefully see these videos and say, right, I can see the reason now to register. It's very straightforward, and this is aimed at more of the younger age group, because people at the age of 16 can actually register. People think you have to be 18, but you can actually be 16 and go online to register, because obviously people will be eventually attaining the age of 18. As soon as you're 18, you're able to vote. But you can actually go online and register from the age of 16 onwards.
And of course, if we were in Scotland, you may be able to vote quite soon at the age of 16, but that's a different country. But I didn't know that, so you can actually register from the age of 16.
That's right.
And your vote, of course, is at 18.
18, and quite often we have people that phone up before the election saying, look, say if the election's on the 7th of May, look, I'm 18 on the 6th of May, can I vote? And we will have that information, said, yeah, you're 18, go ahead, and this will obviously affect a lot more people next year. There'll be a lot more interest when people want to vote at that parliamentary election.
That's right. And the videos you mentioned also on the council website?
They're currently being put on the council website as we speak, but also if they want to go on Facebook, I'm no expert on Facebook, but if they go on the Preston City Council Facebook page, they'll be able to access these promotional videos as well.
Okay. Can I thank you for coming in this afternoon and telling us all about it? So there you are, listeners. Easy ways to get your vote and make certain that you're counted. Why not do it right now? And if you need help, as Peter said, there's always people around who'll support you with that. So, Peter, thank you for coming in this afternoon. Thank you.
103.2 Preston FM.
Your community, your radio.